Hey, I'm Josh. I play bass in July Talk, and we are currently at Edgefest. I mean, there's obviously a pretty distinct, or a big distinction between what we grew up listening to and then what we grew up listening to kind of in our 20s or like late teens, early 20s. I'd say probably, I mean, just in terms of the classics like Springsteen, Tom Waits, that kind of stuff definitely set a base for our kind of earlier, kind of more alt-country kind of sound. But definitely, there's a lot of 90s rock that, we grew up loving, and even 80s rock like the Pixies, and, and I think we kind of incorporated some of those influences into the bluesy sound, kind of create something, that we felt was a little more embodied kind of who we were a bit more. Oh, now it's varied. I mean, we're really big into the new Queens, the Stone Age record, loving the new Solange record. We're into, I mean, we listen to anything and everything, to be perfectly frank. Father John Misty. Well, what ended up happening is the band formed just before we were all kind of playing in separate bands. Our singer Peter got back from a tour. He was playing with a group called the Mohawk Lodge. We were great friends of ours, great band. But Pete had a few songs he'd written while on tour, and he wanted to, try something out, as a solo project. It happened to be like 2 weeks after he got back that he met Leia and came to me and said, I think this could be a really cool dynamic. We have this great rapport with each other, a great conversation. And from there, we just kind of stole band members and from other bands and enlisted, kind of the best help we could get. And, that's kind of how it started. It made a little July Talk infant. The difference between, I guess, playing like a club show and an open air festival show is just the obvious. The energy, that comes, if you can really hook an audience, and if they're hanging on, kind of every note and every word, the more the better, the more the merrier, kind of in our opinion. We're enjoying this whole festival experience is still fairly fresh for us. So we're really enjoying every moment of it. I don't want to say that we don't love the club shows, because they're also, it's a different beast. They're two different beasts. Well, we recorded an album with Alex Bonifant and John Drew in Toronto last year. We released it. It's a self-titled album. We released it in October. The first record is really an introduction, not just to the audience, but for ourselves, to what what this conversation is between our two singers. This dynamic of black and white, man versus woman, and kind of setting that as a base for the kind of the initial visual kind of intrigue. And then exploring kind of deeper themes beyond that, very specific to Peter and Leia's, kind of dynamic themselves. It obviously changes with each song, but typically it'll be myself and Peter come up with a, kind of a bass. We then bring it to the band, and just given the fact that we all listen to such different music, metal, hip hop, country, we just kind of feel, and find what's right for the track and for the arrangement. And at that point, the whole band just completely makes it into what it's going to be. Oh, my favorite track off the new record. I mean, obviously, I'm a big fan of Paper Girl. It's, it's definitely a fun song to play live because people really react to it. I am partial to Let Her Know. I really like the kind of 80s synth line over it. It has kind of more of a chug. It's a bit more rocking. That's what I'm partial to. Well, I'm not a fortune teller, but I'd say in terms of the trajectory of the band, I mean, we don't really know, but I think everything seems to be going well. I think we'll just be playing bigger shows, bigger festivals. Our thing is just to make more friends. That's what this is all about, going to new towns, new cities. For us, it's just exciting that we can kind of go anywhere in Canada at this point and have a free couch to sleep on, or, free place to stay. People can take us out to their favorite restaurants, and, so anyway, those who are watching, come say hello to us and show us your city, because that's what we love. The most memorable music moment would have to be, I think, playing at Flames Place in Calgary, and just the size of that show. And that was followed up by playing at the Commodore in Vancouver the next night. For us, in terms of like venue shows, just the sheer volume of people and how stoked they were, to see the show, and how the first however many rows actually knew all the words to the songs. for us as kind of a young band, that's what makes it worth it. It's like super exciting. Obviously, what's next for July Talk? Obviously, just like way more touring. We're going to step into the studio in the next few weeks and lay down some of the new tracks we've been writing since the last record came out. Maybe, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but maybe releasing a couple of singles with remixes of some of the songs off our most recent record as a B-side. I might get in trouble for saying that, but you got it first here. No, that's a great question. What do I think life is? For me, life is, it's just about the people that surround me. That's my kind of spirituality. I'm not, into theology or anything like that. What I am really stoked on is making good friends, keeping a great family, and, just kind of waking up every day and being stoked to do what we do.
And if you want money,